All right, so we are back. Finally, we're going to round this out. I did not want to talk about this, but let's recap real quick. We got the men, what is it? The Mercedes Benz King, Nick Saban. He got hired by ESPN and College Game Day. Congratulations to him and his family. You also have Jesse Minter, who bailed in Ann Arbor, who went out to follow Jim Harbaugh and the LA Chargers. Congratulations to his family. I'm sure his family enjoys the pay raise and the great weather and the good people of LA. We also covered Captain Kirk in Iowa and his new offensive coordinator having the most bizarre presser of all time. And like I said, that's a mess of his own doing. But we're gonna round this out. And again, I hated to even cover this story. This is gonna talk about Coach Prime. I feel like Deion Sanders is a good coach. Let's just start with him being a good coach. I think that when other factors, when you keep it all football, we can understand that. But when you start talking about Deion Sanders in a negative light, it can't be perceived that way. And we're all going to be in this same situation about absolutely nothing. So, again, I hate to even cover these stories, but Coach Prime's in the news. And we got another hire, y'all. We got another hire. This is a good one. We got a hire. Yes, we got a hire. Mr. Rob Livingston. He was the Cincinnati Bengals defensive back coach. He has been tapped by Coach Prime to be the new defensive coordinator in Colorado. Now, this is according to multiple reports that broke out on Wednesday. This was covered by Football Scoop and Zach Barnett. Cincinnati Bengals defensive coach Rob Livingston is expected to be the new defensive coordinator at Colorado. Yay! Although, like I said, I don't know him to be bad, but congratulations for Mr. Livingston. I know he's going to enjoy that pay raise, working for Coach Prime and being in the spotlight, the national spotlight. The move cements that Coach Prime will work with new coordinators on both sides of the ball in his second season at Colorado University. Sanders replaced offensive coordinator Sean Lewis with Pat Schumer mid-season. Lewis is now head coach of San Diego State. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. You know, sometimes the attention and the spotlight, a lot of people don't like the circus. And I think that when you deal with Coach Prime, that he is such a magnetic figure that you're going to get criticism, whether warranted or not, you're going to be under a microscope. And a lot of people just don't like that limelight. Now, Prime is nothing different from him. I mean, he's been a star all his life, going back from when he was at Florida State to his pro days and even afterwards. But a lot of people don't really function in that kind of pressure. So again, congratulations to Lewis for his hiring at San Diego State. I know it's a much more slow pace for him where he can grow and learn and experiment with those guys and get better. Also, congratulations to Pat Schumer. Yeah, he got hired mid-season, but Deion's going to work with them on both sides of the ball. And defensive coordinator Charles Kelly, he took co-defensive coordinator job at Auburn. So you learn what you can learn from Deion and then you move on. Again, I don't think that Auburn, and I could be wrong about this, Auburn is a pressure cooker, but it's nothing like national pressure, national scrutiny, and the feeling that you can do no right when it comes to not only the fan base, but the people who just got interested in Colorado football out of nowhere. Yes, you have your diehards in that state, but as soon as Deion Sanders showed up, you got former pro players on the sidelines. You have rappers on the sidelines people have Instagram culture and everything. And then don't let the Colorado Buffalo, don't let them win a game. If they win, it's just, it adds more to the circus. And like I said, for a lot of people who don't want to work in that atmosphere, that is a headache, and it's a stress, and it's an anxiety on a lot of people. So have what you will. We'll be back when we take this last 20 from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Vern at App Stupid. Taco Bell, Live Más. Try the $5 cravings box, the cheesy burritos, the gorditas, the chalupas. Taco Bell, Live Más. Download the app or visit your good folks at your local Taco Bell. Order online. Taco Bell, Live Más. So we got done talking about the different people who've left the program for different programs and different conferences. But let's get back on Livingston. He spent 12 seasons with the Bengals, rising from a scout responsible for evaluating defensive backs to one of the most respected defensive backs in college football. Well, football in general. He joined the coaching staff in 2015 as a quality control coach, working with secondary and special teams, then joined full-time coaching staff in 2016. That season, Cincinnati ranked second in the NFL in interceptions and fifth in passing efficiency defense. So one of the benefactors of Deion in Colorado not going to the Big Ten was that they could play the Arizona guys stuff and then still have that remnants of, I want to say, independence, but I don't know if they align themselves with a conference. I know them being in the Pac-12, when you take the heaviest teams from the Pac-12 like the Big Ten did, I think they still have some games to where they can win them and they can be really impressive, because let's face it, you're going to be on national television. They're going to be on national television. And Livingston's resume, it's dues paid, it's respect earned. And the guy went from being a part-time guy to a full-time guy to working on both sides of the ball. You can't do anything but respect that. Livingston spent 8 seasons coaching defensive back play in Cincinnati and 6 working specifically with the safeties. Colorado's pass defense was the worst in college football last season. Opposing passers completed 269 of 417 throws at 64.5%. So you can see why this was such a crucial hire for Deion. And high five to him. High five to him. Now, because Deion is so hands-on, is he going to let Livingston have his reins? Because I understand, like I said, people who've never followed football before, they got some sort of political axe to grind, some sort of racial axe to grind. If any criticism of Deion, you're going to find yourself in a 6-hour argument. I don't care if it's online. I don't care if it's in person. When you keep it football and then you can put the numbers out there, he has the personnel. Livingston doesn't need to be mentored. Livingston was coaching in the NFL before Deion Sanders took the job at Jackson State. So he doesn't need any mentoring. You have to let him have his way. But Deion is he's going to control the situation. Now, if it's going to be young guys who are just cutting their teeth, they're coming up from smaller programs, then so be it. But I don't think that Livingston needs to be in that situation. Being 269 or 417 throws for 64.5% for 3,332 yards. That's 8 yards per attempt. With 28 touchdowns against 10 interceptions, only Stanford played a similar number of games and yielded more touchdown passes. Overall, Colorado finished the year 115th yards per play, 110th in rushing yards, 125th on third downs, 124th in scoring, en route to a 4-8 season under first-year coach Deion Sanders. So again, he's got the pedigree. He's got everything he needs right now on that side of the ball. He's got a guy who he came in the door being a defensive backs coach. Then he was evaluating talent. Then he worked with safeties. And then he led the Cincinnati Bengals to the year where they had more interceptions, more takeaways, and being physical. So it looks like Colorado has really satisfied the defensive end of the ball. He has a huge transportal presence. He's just that good. It's Deion Sanders. Anytime you go to Colorado, you're going to be under a microscope. Some guys want the national spotlight. Some guys love the limelight. Some people, it's just too much. It's just too much. And this is his second season. He didn't like the way, because he's a competitor. All competitors are built the same. Deion didn't like the way that some of those games went down. If those games would have went different ways, he could have had his first winning season right out the gate coming from Jackson State. I know Shedeur is coming back, so that's going to be a good father and son team to sit there and watch, like all good father and sons. Bill Haney, Devin Haney, now Shedeur, and Deion. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. Again, I'm not putting Colorado down with the numbers are the numbers. The numbers are the numbers. And I'm only talking about the human condition. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get that. So much love and shout out to everybody who was with us today. Shout out to Snow Bunny 44 who hit us up in the Cash App. We appreciate the love. Shout out to Nick Saban getting that job at ESPN. I'm sure the Mercedes dealership king isn't hurting for money. Shout out to everybody who was rocking with us. Jesse Mentor, congratulations to him for having his dreams come true. He's out in LA now with Jim Harbaugh. And much love to the good folks at Iowa. Wishing Captain Kirk a good season and the gung-ho offensive coordinator. I hope they get along. I hope they don't have to kind of stop the press conference so he can explain the RPO and tempo to the good people of Des Moines, Iowa, and diehards. And we'll be back tomorrow. Matter of fact, we'll be back. I know we'll be back. Hit us up. We love you all. Talk to you.